Alright, so good extension forward. Focused on your feet there for a second. You could see a little bit of a scissor kick. That's when your legs sort of kick out. See that left leg going out of the streamline. That's going to cause a bit of drag. I also noticed that your ankles were a bit inflexible, meaning that your feet are sort of pointing down towards the bottom. If you can work on your ankle flexibility, it'll help with your kick. So, you know, it's hard to do, but it's something to consider. Anyway, back to the mechanics here. Extension is good. Your hand, your right hand especially, may be entering just a little too close to your head. You don't have to enter that close. You could reach out a little further. You don't want to reach out, you know, all the way, but a little further would be okay. And then body position is good, head position is good. You're going right to the center line there and possibly crossing over slightly with your left as you enter and reach forward. If you recall the discussion of trying to reach in front of your shoulder or not in front of your head, so each arm is off to the side, left arm off to the left a little bit, right arm off to the right a little bit. Underwater, you can see that your hips are slightly low, so to work on that. Now they're coming up a bit as your speed goes up, so you know that looks fine actually. Not something I'd worry about. But if you ever notice that your hips are sinking, you can try to drop your head slightly or look down instead of looking forward. If you notice that you're sort of looking at like a 60, 70 degree angle, you could look directly down. Now the arm pull, which is the important part. I'm going to look at your your left arm here. So that's mostly a straight arm pull, meaning that you're pulling straight down, straight back. Let me rephrase that, meaning that there's not a change in your angle from your forearm to your upper arm as you're doing the pull. Now right arm sort of similar, maybe with a little bit of elbow slip. If you recall, that means the straight arm means that your arm goes down and then goes back, but the problem is that you're not getting a good leverage, as much leverage as you could on the water initially. The elbow slip means that your elbow leads a stroke back. Ultimately with both, and the line you're pulling there looks good, with both what you want to do is the first part of the stroke, you get your hand and forearm as vertical as possible, as early as possible, in order to pull yourself past that point. So it's about the leverage that you can create with your arms. So looking at the left here, good extension, pretty good rotation, and then this first third of the stroke is the problematic area where you're sort of just pushing water down. You're pulling a little forward, but it's mostly just pushing water down. So this takes energy for sure. You're putting out, it's exercise, but it's not until this frame, right? You know, these past two, where you're now moving water backwards or pulling your body forward. So the high elbow catch or early vertical forearm is trying to get your hand and forearm angled straight down, so that when you're pulling water back, aka pulling your body forward, which is what you're really doing. But good finish, good follow through to the stroke. Now the right arm. So a little than you need to enter. It's not the biggest deal, but it's something that may work on smoothing out your stroke slightly. Good extension. Rotation maybe could be a little better. Rotation means you'd be just a little more on your side, but that's a function of trying to be as streamlined as possible and reaching forward as well as possible. And then similar sort of stroke mechanic where the first third of the stroke here is really pushing water down, and then you're starting to get close to a catch here, but then if you notice that the elbows continues to come back towards the body in front of the hand and the forearm, so that's a little bit of the elbow slipping, so you're again giving up some leverage with that position. So one arm drill, catch up drill, doggy paddle drill, fist drill, helpful to you.